name's Joe. I run Project Unchained, the content empire to help you unchain yourself and live life on your own terms. Now, I'm here with Luke Deutschlander, and I really want to make a Vader joke right now. I'm sure you've heard it already, so I'm going to refrain. But he's a guy who's done some e-commerce stuff and also some e-commerce consulting, helps others do the same, and really helps the world become more free and passionate by helping people make money on the go with e-commerce. So I'll hand it over to you, Luke, to introduce yourself.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe, for having me. I appreciate it. So, hey, guys, my name is Luke Deutschlander. I'm 25 years old, and my main line of business is I make money online in e-commerce. I basically buy and sell smartphones and electronics from customers online on eBay. I make around $20,000 to $30,000 a month doing that, and I've been doing that for about 5 or 6 years, and I kind of started thinking to myself, you know, why can't I teach other people how to do something like this? And if they don't necessarily like that business model, why not inspire people to at least go start something, go start a business? And since then, I came out with a course called Phone Flipping Academy, where I literally teach people the exact methods that I've been using for the past 5, 6 years. So a ton of knowledge in a course. It's all compacted together. And I started teaching it to other people. And to this date, 2018, I have over 100 students now that are basically, you know, all making money, and they're all living better lives. You know, they're all making an extra income, and that's kind of what life is about. You know, you don't want to just get by. You want to actually be able to live, not just survive. So.
Yeah, and it's important to understand that money, I think a lot of people have an idea about money that is that is a little bit broken, and so reforming that idea about money to be like, money is a tool which you can use for to free yourself to think about things that matter to you, helps you understand what to do with it. When it comes to phone flipping, what kind of things have you discovered that make it easy to make money and to fill yourself using something like that?
So basically, as far as like you're asking, as far as the phone flipping business, is it easy to make money in it? Is that what you're asking?
Well, I'm asking what part of the business makes it easy to make money? What part of it?
Okay, well, I know everybody's probably heard this line before, but it's 100% true with this business. Really, to do this business, all you need is internet, a laptop, and then the desire to learn. So 3 things: internet, laptop, desire to learn. And it's nice because it's not like most businesses. You know, I have a lot of family and friends that own their own businesses, and they have stores and stuff like that. I don't know a business out there where you can just jump in, buy a course for less than $1,000, and you can have, you know, a payoff of possibly $10,000 to $20,000 a month, and just basically roll with it. You know, where most businesses, you know, you might need to buy a store, or you might need to buy a bunch of equipment. Where this business, you can literally jump into it, you know, for under $1,000, because most people already have a laptop and they have internet, and that's pretty much it. It makes it really accessible. It's a really accessible business that anybody can kind of jump into and start learning.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I also am phone flipping myself. First month, I made $3,000 in profit, and I'm curious, what kind of returns do you see people do on this? This isn't really to sell you guys. I'm just talking to people viewing this. I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just showing you what's out there. I'm showing you how possible it is. For me, I did this about like 2 hours each day or so, and I made $3,000. And how possible it is to free yourself to do what you want to do when you want to do it, because the money's there on the side. So I'm just curious, Luke, what kind of stuff have you seen your students do?
Yeah, sure. So good question. Great question, actually. So actually just yesterday or the day before, I did an interview with a guy named Brandon. He's from Texas. He's 25 years old, and he's just been working, I would say, an above average job, but it's kind of physical labor. It's harder work. He's a pipeline worker out of Texas. And he literally picked up my course 29 days ago. And he told me in the interview, we got this interview on YouTube, he goes, I really didn't know a thing about smartphones before I started the course. And my course is very detailed. There's a lot of documents, a lot of videos. And he literally said that he sent me his sales. He made $8,900 in his first month, and he netted about $3,500. So that's like a 40% margin. And you know, like most businesses out there, they run off 10% profit margin. So for him to make 40% and then his first month, he actually said, he's like, I actually made about as much phone flipping in the same month I did while I was working my job. So he did it while he had a job too.
Yeah, and so that's one thing that's interesting because he has a job and he's doing this on the side. Have you seen some of your students do so well that they quit their jobs and just make money like this?
Yeah. Actually, I have. I just had another student. His name is I can't think of his last name. I think it was Eric Long. But he just made a post the other day in my group. He hit 23,000 in sales for 1 month, and I'm not sure what his net was, but I'm assuming it's probably around 8 to 10K. And he said, "Hey, guess what, guys? I just quit my job." So basically made a big post. He was super happy that, you know, for the month of June, he did, you know, $25,000 in sales, and he quit his job and let everybody know that. One of the other more successful students I have, his name is Nero Nunez. He's doing $55,000 a month right now in Miami, Florida, and he nets around $20,000 a month. So it's pretty crazy. So definitely some big players in my group that have quit their jobs.
Yeah, and it's interesting because whenever I hear somebody in my friend group say, "Oh, I hate my job," I always suggest, I suggest a few things. There are a couple business models that I've seen work with my own eyes, and of course, there are so many that work that I haven't seen with my own eyes. But one of them that I've seen with my own eyes is phone flipping, and I'll be like, "Hey, work for me, and I'll teach you, and then go on your own. Just split off. I'm going to teach you." Because I like seeing people just break off and do their own thing. And one thing I like to share with people is that jobs are one way to get money. It's not the only way, and in fact, it's not nearly the best way. I'm curious about you and some of your motivations. You alluded to, and I also saw another interview with you that you sent me. You alluded to some early childhood things that help motivate you to do things like this, and I'm curious if you could lay a foundation of not like your life foundation. This that'd be a lot, but a foundation of where you were and then where you are, and then how you motivated yourself, like the connection between the two.
Definitely. So here's my story. I'll try and sum this all up in 2 minutes. It's going to be really fast, but basically I grew up, I had an average childhood, I would say, till I was about 4 or 5 years old. And at that point, my mother, she put me on a medication called Ritalin. Now, I was 4 or 5 years old. Every kid is hyper when they're 4 or 5, but my mom, I guess, just wanted to take the easy way out. And she basically gave me this medication when I was younger, and she started overdosing me for about 3 to 4 months when I was a child. So my childhood was not so hot then. My dad actually was in the process of starting his own business. He owns an auto body shop. And so he would work every day from like 6 a.m. to 2 a.m., trying to be a blue-collar entrepreneur. So he never knew this was going on. And then one day, my dad came home. He showed up early, and, he came inside, and he said my name, Luke. And I just looked like a zombie, he said, when I looked at him. And he's like, what is wrong with you? And at that point in time, my dad found out that my mom had been, overdosing me on medication. So I had a rough childhood there. Then on top of that, at age 5, when I'd actually had turned 5, my dad found out that my mom had tried to hire a hitman to kill my dad and put $1 million life insurance policy on my father to basically kill him, get the money, get the business, and then run off with the guy she was having an affair with. So totally crazy. So they had a divorce. They split up, obviously. She's nuts. Still is nuts today. My mom's done nothing with her life. Blames everybody else for her problems. And so that's where I came from initially. And I use that as motivation because I look at her life and I look at the decisions that she made, and I know that I never, ever want to walk around blaming everybody else for my problems. I could walk around to this day and say, well, I don't have that, or I don't have this house or that car, I don't have X amount of money because, well, my mom's a piece of trash and, it's all her fault and pity me, pity this. But instead, I actually use it as an example. See, people in life, they go through traumatic events like mine, and that's just, one part of my life. But people go through life, and everybody, I'm not saying, my life is worse than somebody else's out there, but it's definitely not the best out of some of the stories I've heard. And what I'm getting at is you can take the building blocks in life, and you can take the ones that are negative, and you can use to either build a bridge and go over them, or you can, put yourself in victim mode and you'll just continue to go down. And what you need to do is, with these bad experiences in life, you have to motivate yourself and move out of victimhood. You can't be a victim for the rest of your life, or you're never, ever going to go anywhere.
I love the way you put that. I've noticed that a lot of people that achieve great success, I mean, you listen to Tony Robbins in his early life, his dad was downright abusive. And his mom, wasn't, she didn't have the family structure necessary to get herself and get him out of that. And same with Elon Musk. His dad was also downright abusive, and he barely even talks about it. Not many people know about what happened there. Same with Oprah Winfrey. I believe she was raped, and she had a child with her abuser. And I think that happened twice to her, if I remember correctly. I'm not entirely sure of the details of her past. I believe there's a biography and an autobiography about that. But you see these people who achieve so much, and they come from a place of the opposite, really. And I'm not going to say much about myself because this interview is about you. But sure. I just wanted to say that the things you said really resonated with me because I had a very similar childhood with respect to my mom. She had put a ton of medication in me from when I was really young before I remember to when I was 22, when I finally snapped out of it, got myself off of it. And I actually hired a mentor. I interviewed him in the past. If you guys are interested, check out the interview with Dr. Robert Harris. And I'll talk about more of this on a different post because this right here is about Luke. I'm going to make my own posts, my own talks about this. But I just want to say resonate with you, and I'm sure both of us individually can talk about that at some point.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting how that's a thing that happens. When it comes to victimhood, what kind of things do you see? How do you personally put yourself in the charge seat? Like, how do you personally take the keys back to your life and use those keys to drive yourself where you want to go?
Right. Well,
I'm saying.
Yeah. So mentally, the biggest thing is, and I know this is hard for a lot of people, mentally, you just have to do it. You have to take action, and you can't sit there and glope around and overthink things. I think one of the biggest issues, especially people in America, everybody's coming down with depression and anxiety and this and that. And I'm not disacknowledging any of those, because I would say in the past that I had very bad depression. I actually tried taking my own life when I was younger, and I had very bad depression, anxiety, self-worth. And then, one day I just told myself, I was like, you know what? You just got to snap out of it, man. You just have to go out and do something better. And one of the things that I think held me back the most, and I think this really hurts people with anxiety, is you can't overthink things and procrastinate. You just have to go out and go do it. If you overthink, even the smartest people and the most intelligent and successful people, if they sat in a room and didn't actually take any action all day, and they sat in front of a desk or they sat at a job and they just let these negative thoughts and they just overthink, they themselves too would become depressed. And I think that's the bad thing about people who have depression and anxiety. They're in this loop of overthinking everything and the worst outcomes, when really you just need to go basically get your feet wet and just go try something. Go start a new business, go start a side or additional stream of income, and go pick up a good book and just kind of motivate yourself and tell yourself, you don't have to be the person that you're overthinking about right now. You can change tomorrow. You have to use, if you're on an all-time low, you have to use that all-time low as motivation. Once, you hit rock bottom, sometimes that is the changing point for people. Me personally, I hit rock bottom. I had gotten into, some trouble. I had got put into some bad financial situations in the past. And when I hit rock bottom, I went to jail. It was only for 3 days, but I went to jail once. And I went there because I was trying to save myself from filing bankruptcy. I was like 20, I think, at the time. And I got there because I couldn't find a good job. So like I said, like you said earlier, jobs are not always going to be there. Jobs isn't necessarily the best thing. But I basically did some stuff that was supposed to put me financially ahead, ended up getting in trouble because obviously, I wasn't meant to be a career criminal. I don't recommend that for anyone. But I went to jail and I was like, holy shit. you need to do something because you're just going to keep going downhill. You're so much smarter than this. And I was in jail with all these other people that were in there for terrible things like drugs and robbery. And I'm just like, I can't even, I don't even know. I didn't know what to say. I don't know what to say about that. But the whole time I was just thinking, these people around me are hopeless. Like that is all they talk about is negativity, negativity. And since then, I have never, ever been back. And it was at that low point that I told myself, you need to come up with something. You need to do something. And when I got out, and I got everything straightened out with life and whatever, that's when I started putting some ads out there and I started flipping phones. And I realized, wow, I can make money doing this. It's way more than the jobs that wanted to hire me. And it's completely legal and I can feel good about it. And I think I can scale the business. And so basically, you have to get to a point. If you can't motivate yourself right now, I think anybody out there eventually gets to a point of an all-time low where it's either make or break. You either make the change then or you continue going down into a downhill spiral. And the biggest thing is stop procrastinating and just go out there and do it and don't overthink it. Just go do it because it's actually simpler than you think. But the more you think, the more complicated it gets.
Yeah, there are a couple of things I want to bring up there. If you don't mind me dissecting your mindset and creating a couple lessons that I feel like people viewing this could learn from. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. I noticed that there are a couple of things that you share, and one of them is thinking that I noticed that you see your situation as changeable. You say that you went to a dark time, and then you realize that you're in control and you can change it. After you hit that realization, like, oh, it's a make or break time. I have to take action. And that's one of the things I've also noticed in my own life and in others is that in the past, I used to think that my qualities are immutable. And that the things that who I am and what I can do will not change, like a talent mindset. Like I was born with it or I wasn't. And I was told that for most of my life that I was very, very intelligent. And I proved that because I was very good at math. I could articulate myself very well. But then I stopped studying and I would actually, when I got to college, my intellect alone wouldn't take me where I wanted to go. For the first semester of my freshman year, I actually failed a few classes. Well, actually, I almost failed a few classes. Gets to like a month before the end of the semester, I'm like, oh crap, I don't want to fail these classes. Instantly kick myself into gear. I bring in everything that was an F up to a B, which I was very thankful of. But at the same time, it kicked me into gear, realizing that it's more of a skill. And there's a quote that comes to mind. I believe it was Aristotle I think it was Aristotle that said, might have been Aristotle or Socrates, I might be getting this wrong, said that we are what we do, excellence therefore is a habit. And so it's important to understand that your wealth is based off of what you repeatedly do. And if you're a criminal, it's based off of the repeated negativity that you're putting into your life that over time builds up. So that's one of the things I dissected from that. I'm curious, are there any other things you feel people should know about how you think and how you feel people should think to take the keys back to their life and steer the life where they want to go, build the lifestyle that they desire?
Yeah. So speaking just about lifestyle that people desire, so something that I want to completely throw out that, pretty much everybody's parents, I want to say in this kind of generation, I mean, if you were born like 1980s and up, everybody was installed by their parents or by their elders or whoever they were raised of, especially if you kind of came from a small town. Money is the root of all evil. I want to completely throw that saying out and I want to instill something different in people. Money is not the root of all evil. Money is the root of all good. Robberies, despair, drug habits, poor living, that all comes from poverty. That doesn't happen in wealthy neighborhoods. That doesn't happen in nice areas. Poverty is what leads to destruction, chaos, riots, crimes. So for the people out there that want something, to motivate them other than just, some positive thinking, think about if you did earn more, if you did start something and it did blow up and you started networking and making more money and having a better life. Just think about what you could do for yourself, your friends, your family. Money can do basically whatever you need it to increase the level of living, you know, that you're currently living at. If you're in a low point, just imagine if you had an extra $2,000 a month, what you could do with that, or what you could eventually do with that. People think that, you know, they don't, I think people don't think about money initially when they think about having a better life or changing their mindset. You kind of have to, like you said, you have to want it. And you have to understand that money pretty much makes the world go round. And I'm not trying to say that you need to be in love with money, but you need to love the idea of what money could do for you, your friends, your family, your fiance, boyfriend, girlfriend, or if you're just going to be single for the rest of your life. Having more money is going to really, really, really help you, because you're also going to acquire friends that have networks, that have net worth, and they are all positive-minded individuals. People who are in poverty, and I'm not, you know, downing anybody who grows up in a bad neighborhood or anything. Like I said, I had a bad childhood. But had I have kept going in that kind of direction, I would just be up, down, up, down, up, down. And all I want to do is plateau and go up, plateau and go up. And really understanding the idea that creating an extra income, having a positive mindset, and then really going out there and wanting that extra income or money, it's really going to make your life better. It's not going to make your life worse. There's nothing wrong with, you know, kicking out some old high school friends that are just going downhill. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's one of the other big things, is knowing that money can actually make your life better. And then two, you need to get rid of toxic people, even if they're friends or family. If they're negative or they're not going anywhere in life, you have to get rid of the negative crowd. I don't ever speak to my mother, which I spoke about earlier in the interview. And the reason is, every time I talk to her, it's, hey, can you help me? I need to go to the doctor. I need this. I need that. I need. And I said, you know what you need? You need money, because then you wouldn't have any of these problems. Just being blunt, you know, and she doesn't get it. It's always, well, this her favorite saying is, well, it's your fault. Well, it's your uncle's fault. Well, he's got lots of money. I'm like, Mom, you know, you have to do something with your money. He's a perfect example.
Yeah, no, I'm really sorry that happened to you, and I very much empathize. So I want to end on this note. I'm going to give you a moment to promote whatever you want to promote, and I'm just going to right here close it off. So thank you for watching this. I hope that you got some mindset stuff. You have absolutely no obligation to buy anything from this. The reason I'm allowing him to sell on this is because the products that he's offering, I've heard from him. I've met him a little bit on a call before this, and I trust him that he has your best intentions in mind, and that he can help unchain you and help you take back your life and live it on the best terms. You have absolutely no obligation. However, these options that he offers you can help you with the purpose of Project Unchained, which is to take the keys back from your life, live life on your own terms. If you haven't yet subscribed, this is going to be in on a couple of blogs on Project Unchained. It's also going to be on Apple Podcasts, and it's going to be on SoundCloud, and it's going to be on YouTube. And all those, depending on which one they're going to be in, it's going to be a different place. I'm going to have a link to subscribe. So if you haven't yet subscribed to the email, I put out exclusive, valuable content that I put out nowhere else on the email at least once a week. And that's going to help you unchain your mindset, unchain your actions if you choose to act, which I know you will, because I know that you're motivated. And it's also going to help you up your lifestyle so you can build the life of your dreams, gain the clarity, self-awareness, motivation, and habits necessary to do this. So subscribe to that. And I wish you the best. Now, Luke, I'm going to give you as much time as you desire to promote your own things. I've vetted them, and I trust you, and I know that the things that you provide will help with the purpose of Project Unchained.
Awesome. You bet, Joe. So yeah, guys, you know, like Joe said, thanks for coming out and watching and everything. And I really hope that you took some of my experiences and some of my stories that I just told, which are, you know, all real stuff that happened to me. I hope you take it, and I hope you apply it, and I hope you motivate yourself. No matter where you are, no matter how low you are, just know that you can make a change. You can start bettering yourself tomorrow. So like I said, I literally came from nothing, didn't have a good childhood, didn't have rich parents, nothing. I started something 4 or 5 years ago, scaled it up, and here I am now. So I'm pretty much debt free. I'm 25. You know, I'm I have a house, I have another house that I'm potentially closing on, doing very well, and I came from nothing. Like I had all these stones thrown at me, and yet I still walked through them. And that can be you guys. It can be anybody. And what I want to talk to you guys about today, if you want to start making money online, or if you want to start making more money online, I wanted to talk to you about my Phone Flipping Academy. So I have over 100 students in my Phone Flipping Academy right now, and they're all doing 5, 10, 15, 20, even one student doing $50,000 a month, flipping smartphones and electronics on eBay with the methods in my course. Now, what's kind of cool about this phone flipping course is it's not just a course where you sign up and then I give you all the material and then I step out. I've got a whole Facebook group where you're surrounded by positive members who have all taken the course, who are all doing 5, 10, 15, 20, and 50,000 a month. So you have this whole network of positive people that are all flipping phones, and you guys are all going to kind of achieve goals together. On top of that, I offer full mentorship, meaning that after you get the course, if you're in the group and say you run into a problem, if you want to call me or if you want to Facebook message me or make a post in the group, you're going to get feedback from all of these positive, successful people doing the same business as you because you're the new guy, and you're also going to have me in the group also, and I answer questions all the time. Plus, on top of that, every Sunday, we do a live group chat for 1 hour, and that's where everybody in the group gets together, and we all go online on a web chat similar to what me and Joe are doing, and we brainstorm together, and I'm there doing it, and they're also recorded, so you can watch them forever in the future. So if you guys are interested in something like that, and you really want to step it up, and you want to, maybe make a change in your life, find me on Facebook. You can search for Luke Deutschlander. That's DEUTSCHLANDER. Or you can find me in my Facebook group. Just search on Facebook, eBay Phone Flipping Mastermind, or find me on YouTube and Instagram. It's just Luke Deutschlander. So find me on one of those, send me a message, and let me know you saw this interview and that you want to make a change in your life. And I'll do something special for you. Normally I sell my course for $997. But if you say you saw this interview, I'll give it to you 50% off, and I'll sign you up for $497.99. I'll take $500 out of my pocket, and I'll invest it in you because I know that you watched this interview, and I know that you really want to make positive change. And I believe in investing in people who want to make positive change because it takes a lot to want to do that, and you need support when you want to make positive change. So I hope to see some of you guys. I hope to hear from you. And if not, just take all this information and apply it and better yourself. Even if I don't see you in my course, I wish you the best, guys. So that's all I got, Joe. I appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you too. Thanks for everything.
See you later, Joe.